Hello and welcome to, part 2 of covering Rondo's mini album slash EP, whatever you want to call it, Murasaki. Yeah, I actually got it right this time.
So part 1 we covered Worldalude
and
Koten, and today
we're getting into my favourite part of it, the remixes, which is the Maison remix of Retina, and then the Prayer remix by... I need to brush up on my kanji.
Cool. All right. Should we get straight into it?
Let's kick things off with the Maison remix of Retina. So I guess how does it, compare to it, or the original so far?
I would say personally, I definitely prefer this over the original so far. I do find it quite interesting that they open with the one sort of guitar riff that stands out in the original.
Okay.
Which was an interesting choice because, I'm from just we brushed up on the originals just before we hit record. Something I noticed in the original was, I'm pretty sure that guitar riff only happens once in the whole song. It's about sort of halfway through. So for them to, sort of feature it right at the start was pretty cool. I think it worked well. And then I guess the style of the remix, how does it compare so far to the original? I kind of like that, we were talking about the original. There's so much going on, and it is quite a different sort of departure from the classic sort of Rondo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Metal forward sound.
Although I was kind of going into this expecting to be, not as kind to this one as the next one.
Right.
But I think I'm not going to go ahead and bash it as much as I thought I would. Because I still prefer the original, but not as much now listening to it again.
Right.
Although that's probably because I've got a good pair of headsets, so I'm actually able to get a bit more of a better feel for it.
That absolutely helps. So, I think that's a big point as well. Even something I wanted to double check is obviously, this has been released 2023. Retina is featured on their album from 2022.
Yeah, the first album.
Does it pop up anywhere else before that?
In the game, but...
Other than the game, of course.
No.
Because, even the actual production between the original and the remix is quite different as well. I find the remix is much more cleaner sort of sounding of a recording, even though, it's definitely all done within sort of the computer. It's not live recorded in any sense. I wouldn't expect. But yeah, even just like the actual quality of the production, I enjoy a lot more. And it still keeps that sort of theme of like the original of jumping around quite a bit, having different sections, but it's not as much.
Yeah. So it's not as chaotic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's one of the big things I liked about the original is its more chaotic nature.
Yep. Fair enough. I like the way that verse 2 here really takes a turn. It sort of, it's still familiar, but it doesn't follow this exact same pattern as what we'd heard previously.
Definitely.
Yeah, I do really like, again, going back to sort of the mix, I feel in this one, you can definitely hear the vocals a lot clearer, which I'm enjoying. They don't seem to be as
muddled.
Yeah, and sort of like buried in the mix of everything else that was going on in the original. So
although even in the original, the vocals were still pretty strong.
They definitely were.
But I think that's kind of Rondo's trademark, having really good vocals.
Yeah, yeah. I would say, the performances are exactly the same. It's just that you can actually hear the vocals, I feel, much better here, particularly when it comes to the chorus as well.
Yeah, definitely. I guess something pretty there.
Well, just the fact that we get a bridge, which is not common. I don't know if we really needed it, although it did bring back the cool little guitar riff from the intro. So it's kind of nice hearing that again, instead of it, just sort of like being left at the start as like, oh, this is cool, but then never hearing it ever again. So nice to get that in there.
Well, it was pretty good. Like, it was good enough for you to bring it up at the start when you first kind of paused.
Yeah. Also, just like the sounds, the choice of sounds that they've gone with.
Oh, yeah, that's been really good.
Yeah. There's that weird but interesting, like, one-shot sample that's just like,
Oh, yeah.
every now and then.
I think that's what kind of threw me off a bit originally when I kind of listened to it.
Yeah, because like when I first heard it at the start there, I wasn't sure if it was just like a meme sound or if they're being serious. I'm wondering if it is a sound that is in the original, because I don't remember it being in the original.
I think there's something similar.
So
I think they may have just taken a part of the original and tweaked it a little bit. If Okay, that was one send off.
Yeah. Definitely had, a really strong finish there. So starting off that last chorus, really nice, sort of having it go to a place where instead of it just like all full in, we get sort of a bit more of a subdued thing that then builds. And exactly as you said, finish super strong, really cool. Nice little outro as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I like that. It sort of brought back that little piano melody, which is nice.
Which is actually one of the things I did really like for the original.
Yeah, it's definitely a big part of the original. But again, I feel because there is so much going on in the original, sometimes it
gets drowned out.
Yeah, definitely easy to miss. So that's cool. Getting a little mention at the end there. It was pretty nice.
I think there's a few other songs I know that use piano and the piano gets drowned out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if that's intentional or just the way the song was mixed. I'd have to go back and listen to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Although out of most of the instruments I can think of, I think a piano would kind of get drowned out fairly easily.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the context of the song. Definitely in a lot of songs that we've listened to from Rondo, I feel, that a lot of them might start off quite strong with some piano or even Happy Around.
Oh yeah,
as well.
I think there's a lot of Happy Around songs Happy Around songs that I can't correct myself there. They actually kind of do have like a piano in them or like a piano like instrument.
Yeah, and then sort of they always usually start off with the piano quite forward in the mix and then kind of gets a little bit drowned out throughout the rest of the song until the outro. So yeah, it's nice when a remix knows when to bring those little elements in. So yeah, pretty cool. We don't really get anything too much more vocally other than just what we'd heard previously.
Yes, the next question is now we've listened to the whole thing, how does it stack up to the original?
Yes. I would say I definitely prefer the remix. Just the overall style, the genre, the particular EDM genre that they've gone with, which is not in my mind at the moment. I can't think of what this particular type of EDM is called. But it's a specific style because of the drum beat that's in there. I just can't think of what it's actually called. So yeah, overall, I would rate this one higher than the original. How about you?
Oh, I'm a bit conflicted because it's like, listening to it now, like, this is better than I remember it being, but it's still kind of like, I guess the fair way to say it would be, it's kind of, I'm still kind of tossing and turning between which one's better.
Yeah.
I guess, welcome to where Briggsy tries to pronounce foreign stuff correctly. Now that we're back. So Sakito, right? Well, that's what I assume it is.
Yeah.
So I guess we finally figured out who did the remix and...
Or prayer.
Yeah, which I'm really hyped for. I'm not sure how hyped you are for it.
Well, I would say before getting into the remix for prayer, out of the two originals, I would say prayer is probably my favorite out of those two.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I probably got bigger expectations for this one. Or there's just more opportunity to be let down.
Okay, well, although I've already listened to this, but it's like, this is really good.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. where it gets good too. But that opening is just fire.
Yeah, wow. A complete sort of left turn from what we get in the original. It it's still definitely in the metal realm, but just a completely different style of metal that we get.
It has what am I thinking? It has like a more industrial metal feel to it.
That's what I was thinking as well. Definitely has that industrial metal feel. Yeah, we get sort of sort of like big kind of goth vibes as well, within that sort of industrial metal side of things. So I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying how like harsh they've taken a lot of the sounds as well, from the original. But then the vocals, they've gone sort of a bit of a different way and making them more.
I'd say like compared to the original, I find the vocals a bit softer.
Yeah. They're definitely less in your face in the mix, and I think that's quite intentional, because you've got all these really, really harsh, high frequency sounds really coming out and biting you, particularly in that intro. And then once it dies down into the verse, the vocals come in, and definitely much more lower in the mix, but just the effects that they've got on them as well.
But that guitar at the start is really good.
Yeah, that's
It has what's the feel I'm looking for? Kind of a somber feel to it. Not quite, but that's the thing that kind of comes to my head.
Yeah. That's a great point as well. Definitely.
I would say foreboding, but I think that what I originally said is probably a bit more fitting.
Yeah, somber. I would say foreboding. It's got that sort of air of like
uneasiness.
Yeah, traveling down a dark alley with some mist around, and you're sort of like your brain starts going, oh, there's something around the corner.
Oh yeah,
coming for me, and then it really comes in that the heavy intro part. So yeah,
I think that just works really well.
Definitely does.
I think you can see why I think quite highly of it.
Yeah. This one is going to be a hard one to compare, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right.
Let's get back to it. I gotta say, it's definitely got that section has definitely more of that, again, industrial feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely does.
Especially with the vocal performances. Or the vocal performance. I don't know why I said plural. There's only the one.
Yeah, but we get that sort of pre-chorus section, which gives us a really interesting transition that then goes into the chorus, and the chorus
it's still like really good.
It's still really good. It takes it in a bit of a different direction. There's a very particular type of subgenre of metal called like Swedish death metal, and the overall vibe doesn't have that, but definitely the guitars
has that feel.
Yeah, the guitar, the tone of the guitars have that what's referred to as a buzzsaw guitar sound, which makes no sense. It makes no sense, but yeah, it's sort of just that really, really
I think
mid-range.
I know a thing or two about Swedish death metal. Like, I haven't listened to like any songs, but I think there's this one band I'm familiar with just because the story behind one of the album covers, which I think I've shown you.
Yes, I do remember that.
I just find it interesting because of how different it is.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's a pretty apt word.
Oh yeah.
It's not every day where you see something like that.
Yes.
And those in the know are in the know.
We are being very aloof, but nevertheless back to it. So, and then we get that really big, heavy section transitioning from the chorus, which I'm guessing is going to go into verse 2. So, and yeah, as you said, that big section there is just super effective.
Just wait for that one section.
It's amazing how all you do is change the drum beat and completely changes an entire section.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, something I definitely picked up there, particularly with the drums, is there's definitely that Mick Gordon influence coming through. Again, definitely goes back to the industrial metal sort of sound that they're going for here, and he's sort of one of the top dogs of that sound.
Oh yeah, definitely. There was I don't think his genre was industrial metal, but he included elements of it. What's his name? He did the soundtrack for Saw. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of the name as well.
Yeah, it's completely eluding me, and I guess it's eluding you.
But yeah, definitely, there's definitely that element going on, which is really cool. Yeah, and I think it was just that bridge section there, which sort of definitely hinted to me of that sort of Mick Gordon vibe, where he does it quite a lot in a lot of the Doom songs. Where
oh yeah, there's the name, Charlie. Oh god, how do you pronounce the last name? Cololzer.
Sure.
I'll let you have a crack, even though you can't probably see.
Closure.
Yeah, Closure. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what I was trying to put. Ton of the U.
Charlie Closure.
Go. That is Prayer. Well, God, I forgot his name already.
Sakito.
Oh, yeah, the Sakito remix of Prayer or Prayers. Depends on how you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, that was a pretty powerful ending. It had some twists and turns. I really enjoyed that sort of like bass guitar break, which is...
Oh, yeah, I absolutely love. Actually, I don't think I could really pick out a fault with the remix, which is weird because I'm not the biggest fan in the world of remixes.
Yeah. So yeah, you asked earlier what's my thoughts in comparing the two. So I would personally say this is less of a remix and more of a reimagining of how the song could have been.
Actually, that's a fair thought.
My reasoning for that is that I mean it's still definitely in a subgenre of metal. They haven't gone to make it like a dubstep version of Prayer or
I don't think that would have worked.
or yeah, any other sort of like other way it could have gone. So because they're still in that a subgenre of metal and they haven't, I mean, they've changed a lot, but there's still a lot of the original there. So I would say it's more of a reimagining than a remix.
Although one thing I do want to bring up at the end there, I'm not sure if it was earlier in the song, but I only noticed it towards the end. There's a bit of a kind of like a choir element going on at the end there.
Yeah,
I found really neat.
Yeah, I definitely didn't pick up on it early in the song, but yeah, absolutely at the end there.
I think it's just a perfect way to cap the song off, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's
I was almost going to say orchestral, and I was like, no, that's wrong. It's not that.
yeah, it's hard to say whether it is like orchestral, like strings and things like that, or if it is choir or a mix of both. But it's that sort of thing going on, and I think sort of for me at least definitely reinforces that sort of Mick Gordon style as well. Because yeah, even though he doesn't use it a lot in Doom, he definitely uses those sorts of things a lot in a lot of the other songs that he's made.
And there's that bloody chair again.
So yeah, that's my thoughts for this one. I can't fault it, but I can't directly compare it to the original.
Which, yeah, although also I have the same thing going on here, but that's more, I just have a hard time comparing stuff, period.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because it's like I like this for this reason, and it's like just hard to get across why I like something, much less why I prefer, let's say, this thing over this thing.
So I guess to wrap it all up into a nice
Little bow,
the release of the Murasaki,
yeah,
as a whole. So the two originals and the two remix. What's your overall thoughts?
I'd say it's pretty solid. Although most of Rondo's lineup's pretty solid.
Not wrong there. That's for sure. I would I would agree. It's a pretty solid release. I would like some more information on the particular producers that they either chose or who have just done the remixes. I would like to see as like, did they choose them? Were they commissioned to do it, or did they come to them at some point in time?
Yeah, I'd love to know that.
Yeah, just
and also the person that did the Prayer remix, I'd like to see if I can find more of that person's work.
Yeah, for sure. Because if this, and it's hard to believe, but if this is really their sort of first time doing something like this, at least under this this artist's name, then it's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
and I guess now time for a bit of foreshadowing, because we may or may not cover the collab CD between Rondo and Mermaido. Like, it's pretty interesting. So I guess I'm umming and ahhing about it. I think it's only like 2 tracks, so it's actually quite interesting because I'm not going to spoil it. But right. All I'm going to say is it's interesting. But I guess if we had to rate the mini album / EP out of 10, what would you rate it? Because we've kind of been doing that for the singles, so we might as well do it for these as well.
Yeah, I'm going to give 2 ratings. So I'm going to say without the remixes, just the original songs by themselves as a sort of a 2-track single release, I would say a pretty strong 6 with maybe a low 7.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good songs, but I don't know if I'll be coming back to them anytime soon. But with the remixes on there, I think they add a little bit extra value, so I'd probably go like a strong 7.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
Okay, I'm going to have to do a similar thing. I think without the remixes, Oh, this is actually pretty tough thinking about it. I would say, I think I'd go with like a 7.7 without the remixes.
Okay. Yep.
And with the remixes, I'm going to say definitely a solid 8.8.
Cool. Nice. All right. And
Which I think you do have the right kind of fair points talking about what without the remixes is it's something you probably wouldn't come back to in a while.
yeah, personally, I think I'd probably come back to the remixes before I come back to the two original songs, World, Etude, and Khotin.
I'd say I'd probably come back for those because I practically listen to the remixes all the time.
Yeah.
Well, not the Retina one. I don't listen to that one as often as the prayers, but
Yeah.
of course I absolutely love the prayers. So of course I've been constantly listening to that. Like, I think 9 times out of 10 I'll go into my D4 DJ playlist and the first song I select would be the prayers remix. And I always get excited when it comes on, even when I don't pick it first.
And last but not least,
We're going to talk about the covers, which is interesting the way they do it. They had the physical and then the digital cover.
Yep. So this one we've got here is the physical cover.
Which I got to say there's a lot going on.
It definitely is. There's definitely a lot going on. I do like the little water droplets
On the side there.
on the side there. There's 4 of them for each of the songs, which is cool.
I just had... say the writing on the side is interesting. Well, it's not really much of the writing. It's just the names of the members.
Yeah. Which is a nice little touch as well.
Although I like the concept up in the top right.
Yeah. And we've sort of theorized of why concept might be there. It was this, sort of...
Although there is like a squiggly line going from concept to CD.
So this sort of like the secondary choice that they just decided last minute to use for the physical release, or...
I would say so, considering, well, this wasn't the first mini album / EP to come out. The first was Showdown and 24, which respectively was Peaky Peaky and Photon Maiden.
Okay. Yep.
Which I'm definitely going to cover.
I do like how there's like the nice little subtle rondo off in the corner.
I was going to bring that up.
What are you...
It's nothing of... Oh, I think I now realise what it is. But it's kind of like a bit hard. And I was like, okay, is that what I think it is? But, well, it's not really much worth bringing up. It's just something that caught my eye.
Sure. And then we've got like the sort of deconstructed water droplet or tear droplet there as well. That's pretty cool.
I think that's actually just like, kind of a large version of kind of the emblem that is used to kind of like associate with Rondo.
Oh, okay, cool.
So each unit kind of has like these little symbol things.
Yeah.
I think this is Rondo's one off the top of my head.
Nice.
But what's behind it?
Like the lettering? Yeah. I have a feeling, because it definitely looks like an R here. So I'm guessing it's Rondo. But yeah.
Maybe.
To me, it looks like it would be an R, but then that looks like it could be an S. So then that sort of just throws me off completely.
Although, I should know what flower that is there in the center. Although, if I remember correctly, I think a lot of Rondo songs are named after flowers, I believe, or associated in some way with flowers.
Yeah. All right. And then we've got the digital release version.
A bit of a drop in quality.
Yeah, but definitely, we get that sort of... I definitely feel
that's Rondo. It is Rondo. So, yeah, it's just the font they're using is a bit fancy.
Yeah. So definitely Rondo. We get, but yeah, we get same color scheme, but...
True.
We don't
get... that border, though.
Yeah, we don't get as much going on. Right.
I think that border's a bit overkill.
Yeah, I'm sort of take it or leave it. It's a bit chunky. I feel it could have been a bit thinner, and it would have been nicer. I do like, we get that sort of like the mini version of the emblem there, which is cool. I do wonder what we have here in kanji. I think is that just the...
I think that is, just Murasaki. But actually, can we go over to the CD cover again? I want to see if that is somewhere in it. I think it is.
We get some kanji over here, but it looks like it's different
So,
characters. Yeah.
but again, just as I gotta say, the CD one is much, much nicer. I wonder if they've done that with the other mini albums /EPs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which I guess we'll have to do next time.
Definitely. So yeah, your preference is the CD.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The physical version. Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of plain and simple, the digital.
I'm a bit torn. I'm not 100% sure which I prefer.
I do like how there's the default. They go in the corner of the CD one, although it's cut off a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just I think that must have been a choice in the design of it, which I think kind of looks neat that way.
I think maybe if you had the physical CD version, if you maybe took the leaflet out from the CD, you might get the other half of the D4DJ logo,
I guess,
as it wraps around.
Well, I'd have to get my hands on it to find out, but money's a bit tight right now.
So yeah, that's my theory anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna say I kind of prefer the digital version slightly more.
Why?
I kind of like the simplicity. I kind of like as well like the way that it has rondo at the top of the bottom, but it's also cut off. It's not 100% there. It's just sort of different. But yeah, it has probably more faults compared to the physical.
Definitely. So I guess that's it. Part 2, and I guess let us know if you do want to cover the collab CD between Rondo and Mermaido, as well as the other mini EP/albums.
Absolutely. Let us know your thoughts on the remixes as well.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I absolutely love, the Prayers remix, which I think this episode made apparently clear. I guess wait until next time until we find a remix I am not a fan of, to put it lightly.
And let us know your thoughts on the 2 original songs as well. Where do you think they rank within the Rondo discography?
And probably how the mini album /EP ranks by itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess until next time, see ya.
See you next one.